Well, good. Thank you very much. We are back from our closed session and back into open session. To start our meeting, we are at 5:31 here on Monday, February 26th at the Township Community Center. So at this point in time, I would be reading the land acknowledgement, and I would like by recognizing the First Nations, the Métis, Inuit peoples of Canada as traditional stewards and caretakers of the land. We acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, Tiantonoda, and Wendat, and is the home of many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people as part of an intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. At this time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings and new relationships and ask for guidance in all that we do. With that, be it resolved that the Township of Clearview hereby approves the agenda for February 26, 2024 as presented. Can I have a mover? Councillor Walker, Councillor Deneen. Any comments about the, all in favor? Unanimously carried. Thank you very much. Is there anybody who has any pecuniary interests or general nature thereof in any of our discussion for tonight? Anything being wished to disclose? Seeing none, we will proceed. We have no members in the public tonight. As such, we will not be having a public participation for that reason. Is there any written comments received for the meeting? Thank you very much. We have no deputations or presentations, no public meeting. Be it resolved that the Council of Clearview hereby approves the minutes of February 12th meeting as presented. Mover? Councillor MacArthur, Councillor Broderick. Any comments in regards to that? All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Is there any business arising from any of the minutes seen? As our mayor is duly under the weather with us tonight, we wish him well, but we won't have any comments from him. Our closed session report. It was be it resolved that the Township of Clearview hereby directs staff to act in accordance with the direction provided in closed session regarding the external investigation review of financial deposits. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Broderick, Councillor Deneen, all in favor? Any other comments with that? All in favor? Carried. I messed that one up, didn't I? I said wrong end of the table, but that's okay. Okay, motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Be it resolved that we have some letters we're dealing with right now, and you've seen them on your computer as well. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby support the letter being signed by the mayor and sent to the Ministry of Health confirming the collective support from the neighboring municipalities seeking the ministry's assistance in expediting the new Collingwood General and Hospital build and creation of the Poplar Regional Health and Wellness Village. Okay, to get it on the table, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Deneen and Councillor Beelan. Anybody have any questions in that regard? Sasha, would you like to speak to that? I believe you're involved with that one.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Van Staveren. So this letter has been circulated to the other municipalities. Currently, they're on their council agendas seeking the same support that we're seeking tonight from Clearview Township. Town of Blue Mountains did pass support last week at their council meeting. It's on the agenda for Wasaga Beach's meeting this week as well.
Thank you very much. With that, all in favor? Unanimously carried. Thank you. So the mayor will be executing that document along with the other mayors, and this is a really important step that we're really trying to push for the Greenfield project out in the Poplar. So let's hope we see things happen. Thank you. The second one is a letter of support for the Great Lakes Freshwater Ecosystem Initiative, community-based science application for the town of Collingwood and other partners. I don't believe we have to vote on this. This is just for information purposes. Okay. County reports will be starting this in regards to It Starts month. And can we get a picture? I'm going to start reading it while you put this picture up, by the way. Whereas inclusion, acceptance, and equity are important approaches to the diversity of residents living in any community, especially in our growing and changing region. And whereas March 21st is recognized as the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, and whereas the Simcoe County Local Immigration Partnership, SCLIP, is a community partnership focused on the development of settlement strategies for newcomers. These strategies bring together and support service delivery to the newcomers of Simcoe County while promoting positive relationship opportunity and the use of local resources effectively. And whereas this month presents an opportunity to further resolve as we pause to celebrate the diversity of human race rather than allow the similarities to become a reason for racial separation. Now, therefore, the Council of the Township of Clearview do hereby proclaim the month of March 24th as It Starts Month and encourages everyone to take stand and participate and learn more about the It Starts campaign. Thank you. Could I have a mover for that, please? Councillor MacArthur, Councillor Broderick. I'll just speak to this a bit. It's a very good initiative. You can see the fine picture that the mayor and myself took. It's at the county last meeting we had. As of tomorrow, you'll probably see it on the news. We'll be in between our in-camera our committee of a whole meeting. We'll be taking a picture outside with a flag raising. So we will be raising a flag at Simcoe County as well. And they've asked, us to be supporters of what the initiative is. So with that, could I have anybody have any questions about that? No? All in favor of the motion? Unanimously carried. Thank you very much. We have some ward reports. I'll start to my left. Councillor Broderick, if you wish to speak to me.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. February 14th, I attended the Clearview Chamber of Commerce executive meeting. Actually, I missed the Sunnydale Hall Board meeting the following Friday, as Rhonda and I spent the whole weekend side-by-siding out east. February 20th, attended the Clearview Chamber of Commerce meeting featuring Phil Young from Avalon regarding member benefits. The library board meeting was canceled that afternoon. February 22nd, attended the Clearview Chamber of Commerce Business After 5 event at Georgian College. Actually, it was an excellent tour and explanation of the many courses they offer. And a considerable amount of them actually are free of charge for qualifying residents. I think it may be something that Clearview Council might want to look at sometime in the future, a tour of the facilities and what they do there. And tomorrow I will be, along with the Deputy Mayor, attending Simcoe County Council. That's it for me.
Thank you very much. Councillor MacArthur.
Thank you, Deputy. Couple of quick things. Just last February 22nd, Dunedin Hall Board meeting and Dunedin, and things are progressing along there. And that little hamlet is, they always do. And second thing, I just want to reach out and thank everybody and many in this room who were involved helping me and Sonia do our fundraiser last weekend. And this morning we were privileged to present a check to our 2 local food banks for $12,000. So that's all I have to say.
Well done. It was well written up in the paper too, so it's nice to see that. Explain. Thank you. Congratulations. Is this an annual event? Do I have to talk to Sonia about that one? Councillor Deneen, would you like to go, please?
Deputy Mayor, I don't really have much of anything. I'm sorry, I don't really have much of anything tonight. Just March 7th, the Ottawa Hall meeting will be, the next Ottawa Hall meeting will be, and that is it.
Thank you very much. Councillor Beelan?
I've only got one page here. September 17th, I went to that dinner that Robert and Sonia put on. It was fantastic. Well organized. It was a great time. I just don't know how Robert's going to follow up with the sleigh ride that he's going to have to give my family in the snow.
Did he get that?
Let's see, September 20th, Station on the Green meeting, all is well there. Winter Emma had its wind-up meeting. September 21st, the Hall of Fame met for the first time. And we also had a Brentwood Hall meeting, and anyone with ideas for a small halls event would be happy to look into that. We're looking for something to host. And finally, September 24th, I'd like to congratulate the Creemore Coyotes, who defeated Port Elgin in Game 7 to advance to the next series against Minto. There was a full house in Creemore. September. Sorry, February. Why do we got September here?
We were gonna correct you, but
That's all February I was talking about, nothing.
you're done now? Good. Thank you very much. Counselor MacArthur, or Counselor at the end, Walker. I've done it twice now.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just a couple of things. February 13th was the accessibility meeting. Out of that, we did some further discussion on street policy that's being brought forward tonight. Ordered new street banners to go up for the Accessibility Awareness Week, which is May 28th to June 3rd. We talked about attending the both the markets in Creemore and in Stainer when they start. Library board meeting on the 20th was canceled due to not enough for a quorum. And I just wanted to congratulate the Siskins advancing to round 1 of the playoffs, which start this Thursday. I was going to present the mayor with something, as he's a staunch Siskin fan this evening. So if he happens to be watching on YouTube, Your Worship, you were away, and I know how you appreciate the Siskins, and you have a collection of Siskin stuff. Last Thursday, the Sam Hillebrand, the goaltender from Stainer Siskins a year ago, who had played 12 games, who plays with the Barrie Colts, was there signing autographs, as he was one of the 3 goalies that was with the U.S. junior team that won gold this past Christmas. So I have an autographed card for you, Your Worship, to put with your collection of Siskin memorabilia.
That's excellent. He'll appreciate that. And, he didn't say to me earlier he was going to be watching, so I wasn't. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll chime in at some point. But anyways, thank you. That's all. I don't have too much to say. I was away. The only thing, no, that was all I had to say. I'm just looking at what's that? Oh yes, the community grant application is open. Please, everybody who community groups that are looking for support, the forms are available. Applications are available online. Please make use of them. It's important that we receive them very shortly. So thank you, and we'll look forward to receiving them. Anyways, we won't take thunder off of anybody else that way. Now, that completes our board reports. We'll be reporting now for Public Works, and be resolved that the Council of Township of Clearview hereby receives report PW 002-2024, which is the 2023 MECP Drinking Water Inspection Report dated February 26, 2024 for information purposes. And I believe, Stephanie, you will be presenting that to us.
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Just before Stephanie, your worship, Mr. Deputy Mayor, this is my first opportunity as the director to say what an excellent job Todd, Stephanie, and their team do year over year. Another year of 100% compliance with the ministry's requirements. So I just thought before Stephanie goes, I'd take the opportunity as my first crack as deputy or as a director to congratulate them again for a wonderful reporting year. Thank you.
Thanks very much. That's great to hear, but we will look forward to it, and we will definitely be congratulating the team for what they've done. So she's all yours, Steph.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, Council. So the first report that I have for you tonight is to inform you of the results of our annual drinking water system inspections from the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks. The 2023 inspections were conducted through the fall and early winter months by our assigned drinking water inspector from the Barrie District Office of the MECP. This past year, 3 of our inspections were unannounced inspections, So this is something whereby they make an appointment, usually a day or so ahead of time. And then when they show up, they say, hey, we're going to this location today and we're going to do the inspection. So it's something that's part of their inspection protocol and generally happens about every 3 years, where we have an unannounced type of inspection. That being said, our staff do very well and we have no issues worrying about where they're going to go or anything at any time. So it's always, it's not a worry, it's a comfort to be able to get through that section. So the inspections themselves include a physical site visit to each pump house. They review the records, determine compliance with our permits and provincial regulations. And then from this, the report and summary rating record score are generated for each system. So, and as Dan said, I'm very happy to report this year that we received 100% score for each of our systems. Once again, that's the gist of our report.
Thank you very much. I'll just make at this point, I'll ask for a mover or a seconder for the report. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Walker and Councillor Deneen. Any questions? Councillor Beelan.
Thank you, you Deputy Mayor. On the report, there's things of points of compliance. You can get points for 441 to 486. I'm assuming the higher number is a better one.
Through your worship. So it just is a number of points that they review in the inspection. So sometimes it depends on the system or the type of questions that are being asked in that report. So this is how they add up.
Right.
So it's just a matter of the number of items. It doesn't, it's every score is just out of a different score. So you still end up getting 100% out of it.
I see. So
But
some are tested on more.
Some of, yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's
Some of
what
them
that is.
have
Okay, good enough. Thank you.
Any other questions for Stephanie? I just have one quick one. So if they do a spot inspection, you have to basically be ready at all times within so many hours or so many days. You're always up to date for the reporting. And so when they show up, they can ask you for anything. How far back can they go?
Generally, they only go back though once since the time of the last inspection.
Okay.
So it's give or take within a year. They're usually fairly close. Their inspection timeframe starts in April or which is their fiscal year. So anytime from usually that April to the following is, but they'll go back to the date of the last inspection.
Thank you. Okay. I think with that, could I make could I have a vote for the in favor? Carried unanimous. Mr. Whelan, you're good with that? Yep, all carried unanimously. Thanks very much. Be it resolved that the Council of Township of Clearview hereby receive report PW 003 2024 drinking water 2023 compliance report is dated February 26, 2024 for information. I believe that's yours again, Steph.
It is, yes. Thank you again, Deputy Mayor. So this report here is speaking with our annual compliance reports that we're required to produce. This is a requirement under Regulation 170 of the Safe Drinking Water Act. They review our compliance with applicable legislation or from the province, any of the legal instruments that are issued to us that we operate under for our drinking water systems. These reports also include a summary of our water quality, operational performance, flow rates, and system capacities for the past year. And with this is the goal of providing yourselves useful information to help determine future needs for our water systems. First, I can start by saying that in 2023, Clearview was in compliance with the Safe Drinking Water Act and all associated regulations. The terms and conditions set out in our municipal drinking water license, drinking water works permit, and permits to take water. And there was no provincial orders issued to us. So from our big compliance end of things, that was all very good. And then when I can talk about a little bit about in terms of our flow data, that's something that's discussed in these reports. So as you probably saw looking through them, the flow patterns were very similar across all of the systems. We have increased flows during the summer months, generally when more water is being used for outdoor activities and watering, that sort of thing. Most of the systems last year, June was the month with our peak flows, as it was kind of the time frame when we saw the longest and driest spell. Whereas we saw July and August seemed to be a little bit wetter and cooler, so our flows weren't quite as high in that time frame. And overall, because of that, our flows were down 2.7% from 2022 as a whole, further across the township. These reports, in addition to being included in tonight's agenda, are available to the public on our website at clearview.ca in the water and sewer section. So they're available to the public free of charge.
Thank you. Could I get a mover for this report, please? Counselor Beelen and Counselor Walker. Now, any questions for Stephanie? Counselor MacArthur.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, we talking about the flows, so, and we know in Stainer, we've now got a cap. Has that stayed within reason, like we're still more than safe with our peak flow capacities, I guess? You understand the question?
Yes, yeah, I believe I do. Yes, I feel that we are in a good position because of what the motions that we have taken to limit any more development, so that would be not outside of what the system can handle. We are seeing residential use in Stainer has gone up last year. We saw an increase in our number of connections. It was up almost 6%. So we're seeing some of the residential usage in the water system going up, but that was to be expected. And that's why we've put that limit in to know that where we're going to.
Counselor Broderick, did I see you?
Thank you. Just curious on, I see in the report, for New Lowell in May, we're at 103.9% capacity. Just curious what was happening there.
In May, we generally do our water main flushing program.
Yep.
So it was probably one of the days when we were doing, when we would have been performing that. So at that time, we're using our reservoir to buffer for that extra usage that we're putting out those days. It's something our staff monitor and are aware of and careful when they're doing those procedures. But it would be just for maintenance purposes.
Thank you.
This end of the table, Counselor Beelen.
Thank you, Paul. I just want everyone to notice, in Creemore, New Lowell, every place except Stainer, the sodium level was exceeding what, they're supposed to exceed. And this is why I have September on the brain. If you look, all the samples were dated September 1st. And I couldn't get over that, but I got to talk to Stephanie before. This is just the one company's sample on September 1st, and that reading is similar to what the township sees on their readings. Correct.
Yes, through you, Deputy Mayor. Yes, that's correct. We take an annual sample for sodium across all our systems. It's something that we're doing proactively. We're actually only required to take a sample once every 5 years from a legislative standpoint. And the trending is that, yes, we do have a number of systems where there is an elevated level of sodium, whereby we notify the health unit, and then they in turn will notify local doctors and whatnot to, so that residents are aware of that elevated level of sodium within their water. It's not something that's to a level of concern from the very, very high level. It's just something that's an increased that
Yep.
they're aware of for anyone who has heart conditions or something that should be on a low sodium diet.
And they were all done in September.
Yes.
Thank you, Counselor Beelen. Anybody else at this end of the table wish to speak? Seth, I just wanted to say thank you. We went to, had a tour of the facilities in September. For as new counselors, it was phenomenal to go see the way the operation works. And, for those, I think the whole council was there, but if anybody else gets a chance to see it, you guys ran a good show there. And I would say, I want to echo Dan's, what he said. It reflects what the results are showing. I was reading on one of my big things always look at, and yes, we look at the health issues, but also the expenses. It looks like you've got them well under control. And you're doing the maintenance, like the cleaning of different things. Some are mandatory, but some you guys have to respond to. So it's good to see the way things are working over there. So keep up the good work, and thank you for your team, sort of thing. So thank you. Steph, I think those were your two reports you had. Good. Be it resolved, council, I have a motion to accept her report. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Next report, on-street patio retail and display policy. Be it resolved that the council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PW 004-2024 on-street patio and retail display policy dated February 26, 24, and that the council approve the township on-street patio and retail display policy as presented in Appendix A to this report. Could I get a mover? And a seconder, Counselor Walker, Counselor Broderick. What's the next? Dan, I believe you will be speaking or presenting this report, so the floor is yours.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. This is nearly 2 years in the making. I think this is closing in. May would be 2 years, but just reporting back, like I said, I would in February to the previous report that I had back in September, I believe that was. And taking a lot of good feedback from the Accessibility Advisory Committee on how we can make our patios better in the community, and essentially revamping how we do patios by addressing some of those accessible needs, and also listening to not only council but other members of the community in how those patios were received and how they were working in the community. So essentially, the gist of the new policy is to one, eliminate the option to have a patio on the sidewalks, because the sidewalks are so narrow. It was difficult and challenging for many that I've heard of to navigate around the patio that was on the sidewalk, and having to go out essentially into a corral around the sidewalk area. And only permitting patios within a parking stall or stalls that are out front of their business. Having the patio constructed to be level with the curb and the sidewalk, so that accessibility needs are met. This will ensure that the sidewalks remain free and clear for a straight traveled path, that people aren't confused with having to go around patios. Another, I'll say, issue that cropped up is what I call bistro tables. So one in particular, if not a couple of one in Creemore for sure. I think there's a couple in Stainer. They put out what I'll call bistro tables. So they're smaller tables with smaller chairs that they just go out in front of the facility. We're gonna permit those as well. You'll see that in here as well. And then another is retail merchandise displays, I'll call it. So it range from a bookshelf to a clothing rack to an art display of some sort that they want to show their wares outside of their facility, but still on the sidewalk area. Ensuring that there's enough space, we're going to permit those or have them apply for a permit for those as well. We're proposing, and you'll see it later, it's going to be included in our fees bylaw. You'll see that a little bit later in the financial section, but propose a fee of $350 for an on-street patio, $80 for sidewalk cafe or bistro set, and then $80 for retail merchandise display. Again, just talked about. One thing to note is that this will not be a bylaw. So I think for the first year that this is enacted, assuming that council agrees with this policy, we'll monitor and see how people are adhering to and wanting to adhere to this policy. And working on another bylaw that I'm working with the clerk's department on, hopefully this year, that we may include set fines in that bylaw, potentially, if people aren't in compliance with this, but for the first year at least, or for the first season, it will be a compliance permit application. So those are, I think, the highlights. If anybody has any questions, I'll certainly be willing to try to answer.
Thank you, Dan. This end first. Counselor Walker.
Yes, thank you. I don't have any questions. I just say thanks, Dan, for looking into this. I know it's been a process that we started, and in September, we allowed it to continue for feedback from the public and stuff, public and council and merchants and BIAs and chambers. And I will just say that I myself had received no comments from anybody in those months from that time till now. I agree that I believe that the patios are a benefit to Clearview. The unfortunate part is that our sidewalks, in some cases with the lighting standards and stuff, are a little tight. So it's certainly going to be a challenge to try and make some of the bistros and the displays work. But I think between good conversation and good communications between staff and businesses, that we can make things happen and make it work for everybody. So I just, again, thank you for looking into this, and I will certainly support this policy.
Thank you, Counselor Walker. Counselor Beelan.
Thank you, Deputy Worship. The fees, are they different from last year? Or the same?
Through your deputy mayor, we didn't have fees.
Okay, so this fee, I'm assuming, is to cover the cost of inspecting to make sure they're following policy, or?
I would say, yeah, more of an administrative fee, just to
Okay.
to ensure compliance. It's a bit of staff time just to inspect them and
You have to
have
make
a
it, yeah.
dialogue with the patron or the merchant.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Deneen, did you wish to speak? No, thank you. Counselor McCarthy.
Yeah, Dan, I'd just like to thank you as well. I think this is a real good compromise, and I think it'll smooth the flow of pedestrian traffic in off business hours, and ensure some more safety to patrons and pedestrians as well. So I think we've got a good compromise, and we'll give it a summer to let it run its course, and we'll be talking about it again this fall, I'm sure.
Thank you. Counselor Broderick, did you wish to speak to it?
I would just echo everyone else's words, really. I think this is a good piece. I think it'll get us where we need to go.
Thank you. I'll just speak to it, Dan, and I sort of had a discussion with you about this earlier. I received this past week, and I think 4 letters, and all the letters were to support patios, and that's what we've done here. Whether people agree or disagree on what's happened, I think it's a very good compromise, and like you say, it's not a bylaw. It's we'll be working with it this year, and we'll see how this goes, and that's nice to see. We're listening to what the people have to say. So thank you. Anything else you wish to add to it, Dan? You can have the last word if you like. No, you're good.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Good, thank you. We've already had the motion. Can I have all in favor? Unanimously carried. Thank you very much. Now, report PW 005-2024 utility tractor purchase. Be it resolved that the Township of Clearview hereby receives report PW 005-2024 utility tractor purchase dated February 26, 2024, and that the council approves the purchase of a Kubota M4N utility tractor for use within the Public Works Department at a cost of $97,756.60. Could I have a mover, please? Councilor Broderick and seconded by Councillor MacArthur. I believe, that Todd, you would like to say a word on this possibly?
Sure, I might as well get in on the public works portion here too.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty straightforward report. It's just looking for approval to purchase the tractor that we use. This one will be used for our sidewalks, blowing the snow off them. Some sweeping in the summer and the springtime. So it's straightforward. It was approved in the 2023 budget, so we're finally getting the prices around and get the order.
Thank you. With that motion, all in favor? Unanimously carried. Thank you very much. Report PW 006-2024 Creemore WW wastewater treatment plant membrane module purchase. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receives report PW 006-2024, the Creemore WWTP membrane module purchase dated February 26, 2024, and that the council approves the purchase of the viola membrane modules for the Creemore WWTP at a cost of $226,805, taxes included. A mover, please. Councillor Deneen, second. Councillor Walker. Todd, I believe this is your baby too, or?
Yeah, I can speak to it again. Once again, it's straightforward. This is a replacement of the membrane modules, which is scheduled. Yeah, the price is in line with what it has been in the past, and we're actually changing up what we've done in the past. We were just getting the membrane modules as opposed to all the cassettes and everything, so it's actually cut the cost a little bit for us to save some money there, but they'll do the same thing, and yeah, hoping to get them ordered and get them installed to help the planet.
Good. I think we've beat this up enough already, so thank you. Is there any questions from council? With that, I'll call a motion. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much, Todd. Now we're moving on to finance. Report FIN 004-2024, the 2023 Statement of Remuneration revised. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive revised report FIN 004-2024, 2023, 2022, and 2023 Statement of Remuneration dated February 26, 2024 for information. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Broderick and Councillor MacArthur. Thank you. Kelly, I believe this is your baby to speak towards.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. This report was actually brought to council at the last meeting. Unfortunately, my eyes were a little bit fuzzy, and as Councillor MacArthur pointed out to me, some of the COA salaries had been reported inaccurately. So this has been updated to reflect the actual amounts of remuneration for the Committee of Adjustments. And I have it back before you again, correct?
Thank you. We don't need to beat that up then. Could I call a motion? All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Report FIN 005-2024 Delinquent Utility Bill Collections Payment Policy Update. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report FIN 005-2024 Delinquent Utility Bill Collections Policy Update dated February 26, 2024, and that a council approves the revised delinquent utility bill collection policy as attached as Appendix A to this report, and that moving forward, this will be deemed an administrative policy with the approval authority being the department head with review by senior management. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Deneen, Councillor Balin. Kelly, please.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Originally, this policy was brought forward approximately 10 years ago, and the authority to change the policy was set by council through the mayor. We've been working with this policy quite effectively over the last decade, and feel it's time for it to come back under management so that if there are tweaks such as the one we're recommending here, they can be done as an internal change and they don't have to go through the whole council process. So for example, with this updated request, what we're looking to do is rather than transferring accounts that are over 90 days twice a year, we're going to start doing it annually, or monthly rather. It's less work, and it just sort of keeps the flow of the collections going.
Good, thank you. Anybody have any questions with Kelly in that regards? No, thank you. I'll call a motion. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you, Kelly. You get one more, I guess. Report FIN 006-2024 Fees and Charges Bylaw Update. Be it resolved that the report FIN 006-2024 Fees and Charges Bylaw Update dated February 26, 2024 be received and that the fees and charges by bylaw 24-16 establishing fees and charges for services and activities provided for or done on behalf of the corporation of the Township of Clearview be presented at the February 26th, 2024 meeting for approval. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Deneen and Councillor Walker. Kelly?
This report we try to do annually. I've tried to outline any of the changes and the reasoning behind the changes. The one exception is the planning department, as they did a comprehensive review with RJ Burnside and came up with a more appropriate planning fee schedule. I'm sure the director of planning would be happy to answer any questions on those, and I can take questions on any of their schedules.
The Director of Planning wish to speak to that, Amy?
Thank you, Your Worship. I am happy to answer any questions. We did take the opportunity, given legislative changes that we've been seeing over the last year. We took this opportunity to make sure that our fees we had in place reflected the policy that we had to implement in our processes. So all in all, fairly status quo. And in looking at our comparators across parts of Gray and then Simcoe County, we are still at the medium low end of the fee range. So a couple of notable changes there. Some additional additional submission fees. So just sort of pointing out to developers that additional submissions do take effort to review. And so accounting for that administratively has been sort of incorporated into our fee structure. So the hope is that we only ever have one submission and that it's perfect, but that sort of accounts for more nuanced processes. Another notable fee change is more of a peer review service fee. So that's more of a deposit that sets out what we think that a peer review service will cost. So an environmental impact study is a good example of that. So we've sort of guesstimated with RJ Burnside, our peer reviewer, what they think it will cost. And so we try to collect that up front so that there's no surprises for the applicant when they get a bill. Or they may not get a bill because their deposit will have covered it. And so before I move on, one notable change has been an increase to our pre-consultation fee. That's sort of probably the most notable increase. So our pre-consultation fee previously was $250, which is fairly nominal. And so we've increased that to $1,000 for a minor review and $2,000 for major review. And so with the legislative changes, our that first blush of review, that pre-consultation, it includes circulation to commenting agencies, comprehensive comments from department, tech planning, public works staff. And so it's a huge amount of really useful information that the developer can take and use to inform their formal submission, and hopefully, again, in one fell swoop, get it across the approvals finish line. So that's the most notable increase and change. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? We'll start with Amy first. Amy, I have just one question. I don't know if you've probably seen the government has legislated with, like, for instance, the NVCA, they've frozen all fees again, so they can't change it. But one of the big comments they're doing is to making sure that we give our people who are applying for applications one kick at the can, like not this repetitive stuff. And I'm glad to hear that's what we are trying to do. You were trying to do, because it's nice when people say, hey, you change this, you change that. No, this is where it's at. So it's nice to hear what direction it's going, sort of things.
That's absolutely the direction we're trying to go. It's easier and clearer for staff and the township, decision makers, as well as the applicant. So.
Good. Thank you. Kelly, did you want to add anything to this as well?
I do not believe so, Deputy Mayor, but I am available for questions.
Does anybody have any questions for Kelly? Seeing none, we have made a motion. I'd like to vote on it. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much, ladies. Okay, we now head towards our Parks and Rec. Put Terry on the spot for a bit. Report PCR 004/2024, purchase of portable washrooms. Recommendation. Be it resolved that the Township of Clearview hereby received PCR 004/2024, the purchase of portable washrooms dated February 26, 2024. The council, number one, the council approved purchasing two of the Mobilio 2 16-foot trailers with two stations that provide a universal and fully AODA compliant stall from the NIU Smart Toilet in the amount of $108,000 plus HST, with one of them being to be located in the Nottawa Ballpark and one located in Stainer. And the council approved adding $22,400 to the Parks and Recreation 2024 operational expenses for janitorial and waste removal expenses. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Deneen and Councillor Broderick. Can I, Terry, would you speak to it, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, Deputy Van Seven. Yeah, so in my report, I have provided some pictures for council. Unfortunately, I could not get a actual picture of the exact model that we're looking at or that we're recommending for council to purchase. So the one that we're recommending has a universal washroom in the front versus a separate male and female washroom. It's considerable. It's about $26,000 cheaper for the universal style. These trailers are fully mobile. When you get them on site, they're hydraulic, so they actually drop right to the ground to be able to provide that accessibility requirement in the back for the accessibility washroom component. Obviously council had through the budget deliberations approved two washrooms. And so we're recommending in our report that again, council purchased two washrooms. It is small, less than what the budget was approved for. Council does have some options if they so choose. You can always add a third if you'd like, if that would be within the budget. Or if council really did not want to have a universal style, the department still recommends that we would move forward with an NIAU smart toilet style. The brand that I've researched is an exceptional brand. That the research that I've done, the feedback has been phenomenal on this product. So, so in essence, the department recommends the NIAU smart toilet, and we also recommend the 16-foot universal style. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Councillor, you wish to ask Terry some questions? Councillor Deneen.
I just wanted to say thank you, Terry, for doing this, the footwork with us, and how much we appreciate that. And that's basically it. I'm really glad to see this going forward. And like I mentioned to you before, universal is perfectly well. If we got the AODA compliant, we've got a universal. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councillor Walker.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. For you to Terry, maintenance agreement, is that through a company? I looked briefly and it's not on weekends, it's just 5 days a week. Are we looking at maintenance and cleaning on Saturdays and Sundays as well?
Thank you. Through you, Deputy Van Seven, Councillor Walker. Yeah, we haven't determined yet who those contractors would be. There would be two contractors, one for the janitorial services and also one for the removing the black waste container. I just did my estimates based on industry standards. We haven't really determined which days would be the days that would be cleaned. But we do know that obviously at the Stainer area, Thursday nights are a very busy night, so we would definitely want one on a Friday. And we do know that on weekends it is busy as well. So we'll have to work with our contractors. I'm also going to work with Amanda, Miss Murray, who also knows, the Stainer area very well when it's busy. Last year at the Nottawa location, it was kind of steady, pretty much every day. So again, we haven't really determined those dates yet, but we'll work with our contractors.
Thank you, Councillor Walker. To this end, Councillor MacArthur, Councillor Broderick, any comments, questions?
No, I'd just like to echo Councillor Deneen's remarks. Thank you.
Couple questions, Terry, for you.
Yes.
So one's gonna be basically permanently in Ottawa and one's permanently in Stainer, but these are movable if we needed to. Is that the impression I get?
100% correct.
The one in Stainer, where is it? It's projected to be in by the pavilion sort of thing? Is that the idea?
Sorry, Deputy Mayor, the one in Stainer was recommended through council through the budget deliberations that it be located, near the gazebo park, mainly for the farmer's market. Last year, we had porta potties there on site and they were damaged quite frequently. Even at the end, I think the last 2 or 3 farmers markets, we actually we did not have a porta potty there. So the thought was to perhaps put one at that location that would be more durable, maybe less susceptible to vandalism. And so that was the location that was chosen. But again, it's up to council to decide. I thought those 2 locations are good. I think in due time, I think we also need one in the New Lowell area. The New Lowell recreation location is a very busy location. It also has porta potties. So those would be my top 3 would be one in Ottawa, one in Stainer, Gazebo Park, and one in New Lowell eventually, if these work out.
Okay. Is it the intent of these units to be used only for events, ball games, music in the park and things like that? Or is it the intent they be left open all the time?
Yeah, thank you. Excellent question. The intent is that to be open all the time during the day. So we will lock him we'll lock him at night, so that folks don't have access to them around the 9-10 o'clock mark. And then also they will be unlocked in the morning. So available 7 days a week during the day for any occasion, any public use.
Good, thank you. Councillor Beelan.
Thank you, Deputy Worship. Do we have a truck that can move these around if we decided to, or do they need a special truck?
Nope, we do have the trucks to move these. Yeah, just a regular 1/2-ton Council Beelan that pulls these. Yeah, it's a 16-foot trailer. It's very similar to like a camper trailer. But yeah, regular truck, a regular 150 that has the yellow sticker on it.
Any other questions? Thank you. At this point, we have the motion in front of us. Could I have a vote, please? All in favor? Carried unanimously. Councillor Bailey, you're with us on this? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Daniel. I didn't see his hand up. I want to make sure I didn't, he was quite fuzzy. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, we now are moving on. That finishes us off with Parks and Rec. We're moving to planning and building. So thanks, Terry. Report PB 003 2024 Committee of Adjustment February report. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 003 2024 Committee of Adjustment February 2024 report dated February 26, 2024. All in, have a mover, please. Councilor Beelan, Councilor Deneen, thank you. Amy, did you wish to speak to this report at all? So self-explanatory.
Yes, I'm happy to answer questions.
Good. Anybody have any questions for Amy? Nope, seeing none. We have a motion in front of us. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Report PB 004 2024, the Estates of Clearview, Inc. Lift of hold. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 004 2024, the Estates of Clearview, Inc., dated February 26, 2024, and that a bylaw regarding the removal of hold H30 on the lands municipally known as 100 Grand Trunk Road be presented to council for execution once registration of the site plan agreement for the Estates of Clearview, Inc. is completed to the satisfaction of the municipality. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Broderick and Councillor MacArthur. Thank you. Rosalind, I believe you speak to this, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship, Deputy Worship, and good evening. Just a little summary of what sort of happened on these lands. As you know, the subject lands are located in the station, Nottawasaga Station Residential Subdivision, which is in Stainer. And they are located east of the Jarlette long-term care facility. And so actually you can kind of see that building coming out of the ground now. So that's kind of exciting. So zoning on these lands was in January of 2023. And that was when the establishment of the hold symbols, hold 30 and 31 were established. And these were placed on the lands to limit permitted uses on the site. And they were limited with conditions. The permitted uses included retail, which is obviously going to include a grocery store at some point. So conditional site plan approval was given in March of 2023, and the township has been working very diligently with the applicants to clear these conditions. So the application to lift hold 30 can be lifted off of this property when there are two conditions cleared. And I'm just going to reread those for you. The first is that sufficient municipal servicing capacity and allocation required to service the permitted uses be confirmed in a manner to the satisfaction of the township. And the second is that a site plan agreement has been entered into with the municipality and registered on title of the lands for the development of the site. As the report states, staff are satisfied that number one has been satisfied to the township staff's satisfaction. However, number two has not yet been completed, as we have not got an actual registered site plan agreement. But rest assured, staff is working very diligently to close that gap on that agreement. And we will definitely be bringing back that bylaw whenever we get that agreement signed. And other than that, I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Rosalind. Any counselors have any questions for Rosalind? No, thank you. Just Rosalind. So basically everything is going the right way. We're just giving the authority to proceed to remove the hold once the registration is received. Simple terms.
Well, even better, I'll bring back a bylaw and then council will be able to endorse that bylaw. So it's just that the one condition hasn't been cleared yet, or I would have had the bylaw ready for you tonight. It is actually drafted in this report. We're just waiting on that registration.
Good, thank you. Okay, we have a motion in front of us. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Okay, report PB 005-2024, site plan security collection and return practices. Be it resolved that the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 005-2024 regarding the site plan security collection and return practices dated February 26, 2024, and council approved the following modifications to the township protocol for the collection and return of securities required as part of a site plan approval under Section 41 of the Planning Act. That 25% of the internal / on-site works be secured, that 110% of external off-site / off-site works be secured, the site plan securities to be held in their entirety until the project is substantially complete and the required maintenance and period begins, that site plan securities be reduced by 10% and held for the duration of the 1-year maintenance period and released once the maintenance period has expired and all required deficiencies have been satisfactorily addressed, and these changes be integrated into the township's template site plan agreement under the guidance of the township solicitor and into the township's new engineering standards for implementation. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Walker and Councillor Deneen. Amy would like to speak to this, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I won't add a lot to that very detailed recommendation. Really, that's sort of the nuts and bolts of what we're asking for. Today, we collect 75% securities for private site development. The test of time has shown that we don't typically use that security for the purposes of securing the site or completing any unfinished works. And so in an effort to reduce administrative burden on the township and to reduce financing burden on the private developers, we're proposing to reduce the collection of securities from 75% to 25%. So putting that into real-time dollars, large commercial development in Stainer, the on-site works would cost around $3 million. Securing that would be almost $4 million today with 25% collection. you would be looking more like $800,000 security. So it's a substantial decrease and leaves the township in a good way where we're still holding a significant amount to secure the site if we need to go in and make any changes or. So happy to answer any
Good,
questions.
thank you. Council, have any questions for, Amy? John, did you have one? No? No? Anybody else? Amy, just what would the norm be for another municipality? Like we went, I mean, it makes good sense when you go from 75 to 25. Is that similar, bring us in line with other municipalities?
That's a good question, Your Worship. Thank you for that. We do have, on the advice of our manager of engineering here at the township, she has information from other municipalities, and yes, 25% is a very typical collection amount.
Good, thank you. Okay, any other questions for Amy? No? With this motion, all in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. On to bylaws. Bylaws. Okay, be it resolved, that bylaws for fees and charges, 24-16. Be it resolved that bylaw 24-16 being a bylaw to establish fees and charges for services or activities provided for or done on behalf of the Township of Clearview be presented and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed this 26th of February 2024. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Broderick, seconder, Councillor MacArthur. Anything we wish to add to that, Doctor? That's pretty straightforward. We're good to go. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And I believe that's all. With that, I would be it resolved with bylaw to confirm our proceedings for tonight. Be it resolved that bylaw 24-17 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the February 26, 2024 council meeting be presented and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed this 26th day of February 2024. A mover, please. Councillor Walker, Councillor Deneen, all in favor? Carried. Thank you unanimously. And at 6:33, I would need to be it resolved that the council meeting adjourned at 6:33. Mover, please. We got. Okay. Oh, they want to move it. Broderick and MacArthur down here. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much, everybody, for your participation tonight and coming out tonight. And we'll see you next time.